Jeff Martin here from resetmeditation.com, and we're going to talk about a shocking study, and pun intended, because it deals with self torture versus being alone with your thoughts quietly, which is quite wild. I think it's surprising. It should be surprising. Hopefully, it's surprising for people, and it was surprising for me. That's for sure. And so I'll pull up the study here. And this study is Just Think, the challenges of the disengaged mind. Number of researchers on it, the main one being Wilson. And it was a study of studies, 11 different studies about people being able to sit alone quietly in a room, basically, by themselves for different lengths of time. And so you had people sitting alone for 15 minutes that had experienced a light electric shock and decided that they didn't want to experience that shock, right? Which makes sense. It was an uncomfortable shock, essentially. And here's where it gets really interesting. Many participants elected to receive negative stimulation over no stimulation, right? So that's the shock. You could shock yourself. You're shocking yourself in this case. Especially men, 67% of men, and these are low numbers, 12 of 18, gave themselves at least one shock during the thinking period, right? And that's compared to 25% of women, 6 of 24. Note that these results only included participants who had reported that they would pay to avoid being shocked again, right? They pay $5 to not get shocked in that 15 minutes, and yet they chose to shock themselves. 67% of men, 25% of women. And that just emphasizes so much how intense it is to not be able to be alone with our thoughts, right? Because that's self torture. It's a mild form of self torture. It's not particularly dangerous or anything like that, but people are literally choosing to shock themselves than just sit there alone quietly with their thoughts for 15 minutes. And so that's an important capacity to have. I think it's, 15 minutes is not that long of a period of time. And hopefully people could go much longer than that. And that really is a capacity that meditation gives you. We were specifically training for it, essentially. And there's something behind that, right? It's the chaos that we experience inside that makes us want to distract ourselves even so much that, like, pain seems like a better thing than just sitting there. And that is essentially ridiculous, right? Everyone should be working on solving that issue for themselves, and meditation is certainly one way to do that, and I think very powerful, maybe the most powerful.